Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? Well, so yeah, I'm back for a video, and it's not just going to be a regular vlog this time. This is a video with an actual topic. I'm doing this video as a kind of response thing to Knowlsy about the video he posted recently about physical media still needing to be embraced, and I want to talk about my opinions on on the downfall of physical media and the rise of streaming services, and of course all now the norm of watching movies and TV shows, video games and music, what that all has become today. So yeah, okay, well, I'm going to start by saying that I do use streaming services a lot now. I only personally have subscriptions to two. I only have Netflix and Disney Plus. For me, that's enough. I know there are some amazing things on the other ones, like Amazon, Amazon Prime and all of that. But the thing is, I still very much appreciate physical media, because a point that Knowlsy made in his video is, that a lot of things on most streaming services, apart from their own original productions, aren't there permanently. And in case with Netflix is that they get the rights to they get the rights for certain productions for a certain amount of time, and then it comes to an end. And of course, we have had we have had movies come and go on Netflix. Some movies have been taken off and then they've come back again. But with the case of physical media, what I do still appreciate about physical media is that you own, you physically own a copy, a disc, you own a physical copy, a disc, and it's sat on your shelf in your own personal collection. I do still very much appreciate that. And that for me has been something I grew up with. I mean, I was a 90s kid. I was born in the year 1990. Of course, that was decades before, nearly two full decades before we even knew before we even had anything like any streaming services. And I remember the days of VHS, video cassettes and cassette tapes, and I used to watch the same movies very excessively, very repeatedly, and drove my parents quite mad, when I used to do that. So in the back in the day when had we not had the ability to, had we not had the possibility to own our own copies of these of things, and I would want to rewatch them again and again and again, I think I would have gone quite insane. But whereas now streaming services are just becoming the norm, and I accept that very much, and I do appreciate stream services. They have made things more convenient in many ways. Like, it is great, maybe not having to buy so much physical media. Plus, it's so convenient just to be able to turn on your telly, and all you need is you've got your subscription, you've got your internet connection, you can go on. If your movie, your TV shows on the service you choose, that's great. You don't have to faff about with, your DVDs, your Blu-rays. Then that is great, and I very much appreciate that. I mean, to be fair, I'm 34 years old, so I'm not dribbling old fart yet. So and I've grown up and experienced the changes, that we've gone through. And I mean, it is weird when I look back now that I've watched some of the same things I liked as a kid. There's those movies like with Disney, Disney, or video collections I had of TV shows I liked when I was a kid. And it's funny to think now that I could, have the option to even watch them on a device I can hold in my hand in like full HD quality. That and that is great, being able to do that, being able to watch your favourite movies, or your TV shows, or listen to your music on the go without having to mess around. And I appreciate that, but I still very much appreciate physical media, because it is nice being able to, just being able to own a physical disc, and if it ever is removed, if it's been on the streaming service and it gets removed, then you still have it. You can watch it anytime you like, and I very much appreciate that. And some of the best examples I can give is Knowlsy talked about in his video some of the material like animes, like he talked about Funimation closing down their service, and the fact that any customers who have downloaded material from the Funimation service will lose that download as a result of them going down. So in a way, yeah, I'm a big anime fan myself, and there is a big selection of anime on Netflix now, and I am aware, yes, of course, like Funimation, there are streaming services that offer a lot of anime. I don't collect stuff of that genre as regularly as I used to. I have kind of left that phase. I'm still a big fan of anime, but it's kind of toned down in as far as purchasing and watching so much goes. I have got more into other hobbies. As I say, the best example I think I can give is people probably know of the genre tokusatsu, which is the genre of live-action Japanese shows, mainly evolving around special effects. And the best example I can probably give of this, what people know mostly regarding this in the West audience, is Power Rangers, which Knowlsy talked about. Power Rangers was my first major obsession as a young kid. When I was 4 or 5 years old, I got heavily into it. I'd be up at 7:30 a.m. in the mornings, like a good 2 hours, an hour and a half before it would be officially on GMTV here in the UK. And I would eagerly watch it. I had a lot of comics. I had a lot of Power Ranger VHSs. And I didn't know at the time that it was adapted from a tokusatsu genre, from a tokusatsu show in Japan, obviously Super Sentai. I didn't know that. But when it was announced that over 10 years ago now, that the Super Sentai series were going to be released on DVD in North America, but they weren't coming to the UK, and I understand why, because a lot of people probably in the UK, though Power Rangers has been very big over here and has a huge fan base over here, that a lot of the audience probably don't know about that it was adapted specifically from Super Sentai. I mean, I would never have guessed. I would never have known if I watched it as a kid that the source material, sort of the battle. Like all the fighting sequences and the Zord sequences with the giant robots were mostly footage from a Japanese show. I wouldn't have known that. I had known about Super Sentai in the tokusatsu genre, for a long time prior to the physical release of the Super Sentai series, but when I bought the first one, so I pre-ordered. Obviously, I ordered the first season, which was the first season that's being officially released, which was Kyoto Sentai Zoo Ranger, which is the Sentai that the first series of Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1 was adapted from. And the thing is, like, I don't know if we'll ever get those on an official streaming service here. Probably not. But it's for things like that. It's for things like that I very much appreciate physical media. Is that is I can still get stuff from the international market, and anything I'm aware that's not on streaming services that I'm subscribed to that I want to watch. If I buy it physically, I still have it. I do think that should be embraced. I accept completely that eventually physical media probably is going to go. How long it'll be before it completely dies down, I have no idea. I mean, the good thing about buying physical media is if you go to the shops and still want to buy a movie, a video game, or a CD, which you still can, or a vinyl record even. If you go and do that, it supports the retailer, and it does support the industry. I mean, mainly, obviously now what supports the in terms of physical media, what supports the industry is Blu-ray sales. I still buy a lot of Blu-rays. If it's a movie that I've seen, a new movie, it means it probably isn't going to be like on a streaming service for a while, like Netflix or Amazon or that, unless it's Disney. I don't buy Disney Blu-rays anymore. I've got a massive Disney collection over there on my shelf, and I will hang on to those. But I don't buy them anymore because I have got Disney Plus, and of course, anything, very few things that Disney have made aren't available on Disney Plus. Very few things, and if it's a new movie, it's going to be on there at the same time that the physical release comes out. So I don't buy it anymore because it's not worth it, and I can just go on to Disney Plus and watch it. But with properties from other studios, I kind of feel I still like to go and buy the Blu-ray. Like if it's as I say, if it's a movie that I've been to see, that I know I'll be desperate to watch as soon as it's available to watch elsewhere from the cinema, as when it's released on Blu-ray. Or digitally available to purchase. I don't do that. I don't buy movies. I don't purchase digital copies of movies. I will still go happily and buy a physical copy. And personally, I just find that easier. I mean, it's only been within the past few years or so. Certainly since the beginning of the pandemic, since during the lockdowns, is when I started to do a lot more shopping online, and got more into the habit of doing things digitally. Whereas before, I would always be quite happy to go, and although I had Netflix then, I subscribed to Disney Plus during the pandemic. And I found that very good entertainment and a distraction from what was going on. But because I would still be quite happy to go and buy a Blu-ray, or if it was an older film, maybe that a Blu-ray wasn't available, I'd still buy a DVD. Of course, DVDs are still available; they're still being released. They don't really support the industry anymore when you purchase them. It's mainly Blu-rays on the physical side of things. But what's good about but as I say, I'm surrounded by physical media right here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got like nearly 4 full shelves here of DVDs and Blu-rays. Things I've collected, for years and years and years. And I know I'll be hanging on to them for a long, long time. Because, because even in the case, it's like saying, people have said to me, like, why do you still buy physical media? And I'm like saying, because I do like to own. If it's a film I really like, and I know it'll probably end up on a streaming service eventually, but the thing is, I like to buy the physical media. In some cases, I see movies I like at the cinema, and I'm desperate to watch them again. So if I know that they're not going to be either on Netflix or Disney Plus, then I will go and buy the Blu-ray. And the same thing with music is, I've been subscribed now to Apple Music for several years. And I don't buy physical CDs anymore. And the reason is because I can literally listen to anything I want. I've got a HomePod, and I've got Apple Music. I've got my phone. I've got my Bluetooth headphones. But I did buy a lot of CDs, and I've still got I've got shelves full of CDs here. and another shelf full of CDs there. They haven't been used in years, but I'm still happy to have them. It's just, and eventually I'm sure if I live to see physical media completely die out, which is probably quite likely, I will miss it. I will get on with it, and I will just move to digital services, streaming services, but I will miss it. And having those fond memories of VHSs to DVDs to CDs and all the way to Blu-rays, and I will appreciate having that physical media, and I expect in the future I will still buy probably a reasonable amount of physical media. I certainly don't buy nearly as much as I used to, because I have got used to the digital services, on all, and various different platforms, but and you can still get very good deals on physical media. I mean, I think HMV, here in the UK, when on most Fridays I'm in the city that has my nearest HMV to me. I go and visit that city every Friday, and I'll often go in, and you still see lots of, you still see all the box sets there, and occasionally I'll still pick something up. As I say, a world without physical media would be strange to live in, for someone of my generation. Okay, well, that's my response to Knowlsy on why physical media should still be embraced. Okay, thanks for watching. You're all awesome. I'll see you soon. Bye.